I like the venue. So my first impression of the event was that I found it was actually a very, very convenient venue. The venue actually was something that it was, if anything, high class, luxurious. I like that as opposed to it being something where it was all concrete floors. So that was something that was maybe a preference of mine there. Next bit was it was a good mix of industrial vendor presence as well as actual technical owner presence as well. So the people that were attending were people that I'd want to meet up. Well, to be fair, as far as my expectation of the event, there were a couple surprises coming in.
Yeah.
My flight was delayed. I don't have the Spanish language skills, so I was coming at a bit of a disadvantage, and I was a bit off balance when I arrived. I think what set this event apart was the support staff that was on hand. There's obviously the remote support staff, that's fine. But I think it was actually the on-hand support staff and the number of people you had here to make things go smoothly. That really, really set the event apart and allowed for me to have much more successful connections and work more fluidly throughout the overall event. Oh, very much so. As far as this being useful for my company, I've already had several meetings that make this trip worthwhile. In fact, I figure that I'd made it worthwhile already partway through the first day. So it absolutely was worthwhile. I think wherever a company has a nuanced offer, or there's something a little bit more sophisticated that you're offering to an owner or various different service providers, it's much better to be able to do these things in person rather than count on your website or an email to be able to communicate these things. By far, I prefer doing these things in person, and this is exactly the type of event that allows for that. What's important, though, is that the attendees have to be of a certain level or credibility or relevance for the event to go well. I think as far as the sponsors and the overall industrial presentations that are out here, again, it happens to be a good mix. It's not overwhelming. I think there are other events where it's only about the vendors, and that unfortunately can taint an event. Here we have a event that's actually a little bit more owner and engineer focused, which is my personal preference, which also means that the vendors then get that much more opportunity and exposure to the people that could actually use their services rather than it be, frankly, a vendor-only event. I will be back, so I recommend this event. I've enjoyed my time here, and I've found that even though I had some missteps going in, they've been all rectified. If anything, I've got a couple of heroes that helped me out, and it's going very well. So yes, I'll be back.